Hi everyone. Now I'm going to start this off by saying if you hear funny noises in the background, don't be alarmed. Annie has a little pot. I had rice pudding with strawberry sauce in this little pot. No bigger than a yogurt pot. She now has it, which is fine. I know what she's playing with. But I will get her away from it soon. Get it away from her. Can't even talk. So, what's happened since? When did I go to the shop? Was that Wednesday? I don't know, I can't remember. But the hot weather continued right through. Well, it wasn't so bad yesterday, but it was pretty dire. And Mr. Ian, who's at work still, he was looking at the forecast for the next week or two. He said, oh, we're going back up to 30. And I said, well, in that case, we need to do something so that we can both sleep. Because I wasn't sleeping. He wasn't sleeping. Oh, gosh, the mention of the word sleep. And when it's hot, humid weather, it is difficult to get to sleep. So he has ordered something. It says it's an air conditioner, but it's not like a window unit. I don't really know how it's going to work. It's a smaller thing and you just put it on your side. I should put it up on the dressing table type place. Oh, excuse me, I am so tired. And anyway, so it's only a small thing, so I don't know how it's going to work. But, we'll try anything just to have a cool bedroom where we can both sleep. We were at church yesterday, of course. And there was actually an evening service as well. So although I was absolutely dead on my feet, I must stop that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, we went on to the service. It was quite nice. I'm trying to think how to describe this. We were singing a song. I can't even remember all the words. But it was basically, we were saying about the altar of my life. And I was just thinking, I've got to put myself on the altar, make a real sacrifice. That's what I was thinking. And then I got to thinking, well, does that mean that God is going to slay me with a sword? And I was like, no, it's not that. I think it's more, I came to the conclusion that it was more at the cross. You pin yourself, if you like, to the cross with Jesus and sacrifice your life there. And yeah, let's see how there is more that I can give, and I dare say everybody says I can give more, I can do more. I'm not giving my all to him. don't know what it is, what more it is. But it almost breaks me. And maybe that's what he wants. He wants... Have you finished with that pot now? He wants me to be broken in a good way so that he can do something with me. I don't know. I think I'm going to pause this while I get my thoughts together. Bear with. Okay, I'm feeling a bit more like myself now. I think I've just got to be willing to put my entire life into his hands. Worship him. Live for him. Give him everything. And trust him. Got to trust. In any case, going back to normal everyday stuff. Knitting. Hold on. Knitting went with me today. I did reception at church. Hold on. How am I getting it out? Right, there's that. Now, in this bag, the handy dandy Waitrose bag, yep, you can see I actually finished the back of the little jumper that I've been working on. So there we go, the back is done. What I have got now is the front. The front was completely and utterly the same until you reached what was the start of the armhole shaping there. So there's the front. And the difference is that, of course, it breaks up for buttonholes. Do you remember? Ooh. Do you remember? There you go. So that is what I'll be attacking or tackling later on, is to get the dividing up and get the sleeves going well. So that's good. I've told you it's been a bit cooler. Can you hear the radio going in the other room? Premier Christian radio. Can't really hear it when it's in the kitchen and I'm in here. So I can't give you any reviews yet because I can't hear it. I think I'm going to have to move it in here. And then when I'm in the kitchen, oh, the joys of DAB radio. But it is a DAB station, so I would have to have another DAB radio to hear it if I had radios in both rooms. Angie over at Coffee and a Chat uploaded another video on Friday in her Sabbath series. And I was kind of thinking, we have nothing planned. Stop it. Stop this yawning. We have nothing planned for the Saturday. So I said to my husband, what do you think about actually having a Sabbath day? I said, and we can just sit and relax more and pray and think about things of, godly things of God, and not work. And I tried to explain and all the rest of it, and he was like, nope, not having that. He was just a plain out no. I said, well, what would you say if I did it? Well, I wouldn't be too happy. And I thought, so you have to honour your husband, I guess. And then I said to him, one thing that I do sort of struggle with, head covering, as in 1 Corinthians. Eek! Oh, hang on. Let me see if I can stretch over a dog and get my Bible. Dog's disturbed, but it's okay. She'll survive. She'll survive. Right, Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians. Oh, goodness gracious me. Sorry, I'm not talking very much, and I'm looking for this. 1 Corinthians 11. Now I commend you, this is Paul talking, because you remember me in everything and maintain the traditions even as I delivered them to you. But I want you to understand that the head of every man is Christ. The head of a wife is her husband, and the head of Christ is God. Every man who prays or prophesies with his head covered dishonors his head. But, now hold on, I know they say with your head covered for the men, but the Jewish men have their little round things, what are they called? And they don't take them off when they're praying, do they? Or do they? Don't know. Yeah, let's go back. That's every man who prays or prophesies with his head covered dishonors his head. But every wife who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head, since it is the same as if her head were shaven. For if a wife will not cover her head, then she should cut her hair short. Oh, I'm using the Bible. But since it is disgraceful for a wife to cut off her hair or shave her head, let her cover her head. For a man ought not to cover his head, since he is the image and glory of God. But woman is the glory of man. For man was not made from woman, but woman from man. Neither was man created for a woman, but woman for man. That is why a wife ought to have a symbol of authority on her head because of the angels. Nevertheless, in the Lord, woman is not independent of man, nor man of woman. For as woman was made from man, so man is now born of woman. And all things are from God. Judge for yourselves. Is it proper for a wife to pray to God with her head uncovered? Does not nurture itself teach you that if a man wears long hair, it is a disgrace for him? But if a woman has long hair, it is her glory. For her hair is given to her for a covering. I get a bit confused. They've said, I've just read, does not nature itself teach you that if a man wears long hair, it is a disgrace for him? Okay. So, what about our praise leader who has very long hair? Admittedly, he is getting it cut off very soon for charity. That's why he grew it, he says. But, yeah, there's that. With women, it says that if you won't cover your head, you should cut your hair short. Is that why we have short hairstyles now? Should I then be growing it, like my hair? And I'm trying to think, where is it that it says, pray without ceasing? So I can see where the covering thing comes in. You cover when you pray. Pray without ceasing, where the covering all the time. So I can see where that is coming from. And this is all a thing which I wrestle with. There's that part of me which wants to be fully obedient to God. And I'm reading this as in, to be obedient, a woman must have a covering on her head. And well, anyway, back to my story. I talked to my husband about it, and he said, you don't need a covering. That was for then, this is for now. Oh, I've still got that in my body. So I don't know that he's realised what's going on. Bless him. I bought like an Alice band, and I Can you see? And I'm having to sort of think, well, that is a covering. And Ian did say when he came home the other night, oh, you're about half covered. And I was like, yeah. So I'm considering buying some more of these. Because if my hair does get a bit longer, it's nice to be able to keep it back off my face. Chapter 3 of my conversations with husband. We were watching TV. Okay, TV was on. And it was all Midsummer Murders. And then if we turned over, it was Columbo, and he was solving a murder. And then there was something else on. Oh, I don't know. And I said to him, don't you think that we're just watching this stuff, and it's just going into our heads, and bad things are going around, murder and da-da, and the language and da-da and da-da, and it's all racing around our heads, and that can't be good for us. And I said, I think we need to stop letting that in to our home, into our beings. Anyway, he said that I was reading too much into everything. So look, if you are a Christian, I don't care if you're old, wiser, maturer Christian, let's put it that way, or a new one, and you've got some wisdom to impart on that, I'd really appreciate it, because sometimes I just don't quite know how to keep going, how I don't know what direction to be taking, and how best to proceed. Yeah, so anyway, I've done reception today, so I was up pretty early. Oh my gosh. And I think that's why I'm so tired. Tomorrow, Annie has a groomer appointment. Thank goodness. She is getting so shaggy. Wednesday is library. Thursday, knitting. And also a funeral I'm helping with. Friday, the shop. Saturday at home, Sunday, whatever. So it's sort of a busy week with normal. Oh my gosh, the normal stuff going on. I think I should take a nap. This is so bad. Anyway, hopefully it won't get too hot again. Okay. I'll see you soon. Take care. I hope you don't have such spiritual oh dear, I don't know what the word is. I hope that and pray that all of you are in the right mind with your partners, and in the correct note, let's say right mind, I mean even mind, and you're doing the right thing for God. I hope that and pray that God will give me an insight into what I should be doing. And Don't have. Oh, good Lord. I think I better have a nap. I really do. You take care of yourselves. Yeah. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.